With Easter right around the corner, I wanted to make some festive items for the store to sell. And I thought, you know what? I think I have enough items here that I can make some fun carrots. So I knew I had enough wooden scraps that I could actually cut out the form of carrots. But then I said, what would I put on it? Do I want to stain it? So I thought I had this wallpaper, this vintage wallpaper, just laying around. It is so fabulous. And I thought these would make the perfect paper that I could sand and distress a little bit to make the cutest little carrots. So that's what I did. So how do I make them? Let's get to it. The first step was just simply to cut out the shape of a carrot. So I had my scraps and I just cut it into the shape of a carrot. And then I just used that carrot to outline the paper. I'm just using Elmer's glue because this is going to be decoration, so it doesn't have to be top notch, doesn't have to be the Gorilla Glue. And I just use my finger to spread it around because I'm not afraid to get a little messy when I am crafting. And spread it around. I want to make sure I get all of the wood covered. Don't worry if it gets on the side a little bit because we're going to be doing some sanding, so no worries. And then I'm simply going to take that wallpaper or whatever paper of choice you're using, and we are going to stick it down and make sure that it's down really nice on both sides. I suppose if you're running a little low on paper, you could simply do one side, but I definitely want, for the store's purpose, I want a customer to be able to look at both sides when they are looking to purchase it and enjoy both sides at home. So I'm going to flip it over and do the other side, but this is how the front side looks. I don't know what's the front of the back, but I'm saying that one's the front. And again, I'm just spreading around the glue every ounce of that flat surface, and then again, just put that paper on it and smooth it down really good. And what we're going to do is we're going to let it dry a little bit, and then we're going to come back and do some sanding. My carrot is completely dry now, so I am going to use a sanding block, but you can use any kind of sandpaper that you have, and I am just going to sand the edges. And don't worry if the paper is getting a little faded in some areas. If I'm being honest, I think that's what you want. These are not farmhouse carrots that we're doing because I think a lot of people are going to choose some classy paper, but let them be fun, and a little age is just going to add some character. So again, we want to sand the corners. See how this has a lip? This one now doesn't. And so I'm just going to work a little bit more on it and get all of my sides nice and smooth, add a little like patina to it. That's really not a thing when we're talking wallpaper and wood, but why can't it be? I am all done sanding, and I wish you could see how sweet this corner and distressing looks. It looks like it is actually just printed on this piece of wood, which I love, and it just makes it look super vintage, which is exactly what this wallpaper is. It's from the 70s, so I want people to think, is this carrot from the 70s? The next step is we need to drill a little hole because we're going to put some greenery in this. So when I'm doing that, I'm just getting my pencil here, and I'm kind of eyeballing where I think center is. And I'm going to take that same width. I'm really lazy when I measure sometimes, and I'm going to do it. So now I have 2 dots, and I'm just going to absolutely drill in between the 2 dots. I don't care. It's going to be even. Girl math, I don't care what you call it, but it works. You want to look for a drill bit that is going to be the width that you need for your greenery. I kind of already eyeballed this. I know the greenery that I'm using, and I know this is probably the bit that I'm going to need. I might need to upscale a little bit, but I'm going to try it out. I've got my hole here. I've got my greenery. I feel like I want to kind of just form it a little bit to how I want it to look when it's in there, because some pieces I want a little bit flat, some I want to be flappy. All right, I think that'll be a fun layout of the greenery. I know what my front side is going to be. This is going to be my front side. This side's cute too, but I want the little orange flower to show. And I know that I want these to be my front. So I want to honor my front with the front of the greenery. And I'm going to use that same old Elmer's glue. I'm just going to put a little glue in here. And make sure all my little nubs are even here so they all can stick in there. And I'm going to shove it in here And you want it to be a little tight because you want them to stick in there. You don't want to just rely just on the glue. There we go. So sweet. I know you're getting the back view. I will turn it around in just a second. Oh, that is darling. If that ain't a head of hair for a lettuce, If that ain't a head of hair for a carrot, I don't know what is. I know I may have made this tutorial seem very simple, but I promise you it actually is. Remember, all you're going to do is cut your scrap wood in the shape of a carrot. You're going to get the paper of your choice. I just happen to have this vintage 70s paper that I had laying around, so that's what I used. I bought nothing. I had everything, and I suspect you probably will too. So you glue the paper down, you sand the edges, distress it to your satisfaction, throw in some hair, and you got yourself the cutest carrot for your spring decoration.